Some monsters hide in the woods. Others hide in plain sight, behind a barista's smile. On Wednesday, Netflix showed us that the scariest creatures aren't the ones with claws and fangs. They're the ones who hand you a coffee, who play the part of normal while plotting your destruction. Tyler Galpin looked harmless, the nice barista with daddy issues, just edgy enough to catch Wednesday's eye. But he was never safe, and he was never just Tyler. He was a Hyde, aunt of the rarest, most dangerous outcast of them all, a living weapon with centuries of blood behind him, so feared that even monsters call them monsters. From Stevenson's Victorian nightmare to Nevermore's forbidden halls, the Hyde is humanity's oldest terror, the bad side inside humanity. This is the complete story of the Hyde, why they were banished, and how one boy became Nevermore's deadliest predator. October 1885. Robert Louis Stevenson jolts awake from a nightmare. Days later, he writes, "Strange case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. The idea wasn't pure invention. It came from life itself. Respectable men by day, monsters by night. One of them was Stevenson's own friend, Eugene Chantrell, a polite schoolteacher who poisoned his wife in cold blood. By day, respectable. By night, a murderer. The double life wasn't new. Myths around the world had been warning us for centuries. Stevenson just ripped the mask off. The book exploded. 40,000 copies sold in 6 months. Victorian England suddenly had its mirror held up, and it didn't like what it saw. Civilization wasn't safe. It was fragile. The beast was hiding inside the gentleman. And when Jack the Ripper started carving his way through London only 3 years later, Jekyll and Hyde didn't feel like horror anymore. It felt like prophecy. Wednesday doesn't just borrow Stevenson's monster, it weaponizes it. Tyler Galpin isn't wrestling with a metaphorical dark side, he is the dark side. A mutation that turns a friendly barista into a perfect predator, and that's the point. The Hyde was always about hidden potential. Netflix just made it literal. Forget metaphors, forget science. Hydes aren't theory, they're blueprint. Every transformation follows the same pattern, the same twisted face, the same monstrous frame. It's not evolution, it's design. Something or someone made sure Hydes were built to be predators. Strength that snaps bones, speed that leaves nothing but blur, claws and teeth that don't stop until the body does. But the most disturbing part isn't the violence, it's the leash. Whoever wakes a Hyde becomes their master, not ally, not partner, master. Nevermore's founder, Nathaniel Faulkner, spent his life hunting for answers. His final question was the most terrifying of all. Do they know what they're doing? The Hyde that killed him made sure the answer was never written down. And Tyler? He didn't look like prey trapped in his own body. He looked like a predator who finally got to enjoy the hunt. In the 90s, the Academy takes one of its most controversial decisions. No more Hydes. Think about this. The school takes in werewolves, vampires, gorgons. But one outcast type was too much. One incident. That's all it took. The timing matters. They banned the Hydes in 1993, 30 years before Wednesday's story. That's when his mother, Francoise, was at school with Morticia and Gomez. Nobody knew she was one back then. Her abilities only triggered after giving birth. Postpartum depression unleashed the monster. Francoise gets institutionalized, declared dead, erased, and that was the end of Hydes at Nevermore. The woman being Tyler's mom also fits with what little we've seen of Francoise. She was at Willow Hill at the end of her story, and with her husband, Donovan Galpin, the town of Jericho's former sheriff, investigating things before his death. And here's where it stings. The banishment wasn't just about safety, it was about fear. Even among outcasts, these creatures represented something terrifying. The school that once housed Bradbury Tower, an abandoned wing of Nevermore, allegedly built to sequester Nevermore students who were Hydes, decided it was easier to ban them entirely than risk another incident. What they didn't realize is that banning Hydes from Nevermore didn't eliminate the threat. It just pushed it underground, made it desperate, made it angry. And anger, as Tyler Galpin would prove, is exactly what Hydes need to become unstoppable. Every villain has an origin story. Tyler's starts with a lie, ends with bloodshed. Tyler's the son of Sheriff Galpin and his late wife Francoise. Coffee shop job, emotionally distant father. Classic sad boy material, right? Wrong. Dead wrong. The truth? His mother didn't just die. The system killed her, covered it up, and Tyler spent 17 years believing she abandoned him through death. When the real story is, she was abandoned by people supposed to protect her. Tyler owed a debt to Laurel because she's also the first person that tells Tyler the truth about his mom. Picture the devastation. You grow up thinking your mother abandoned you in death, only to discover she was abandoned by a system that was supposed to protect her. Tyler believed she was gone, that she was unstable, that his father's silence proved it. That's not just trauma, that's weaponized trauma. Enter Marilyn Thornhill, manipulator, puppeteer. She didn't just reveal the truth about Francoise. She handed Tyler someone to blame, and she knew exactly how to sharpen that blame into rage. Botany, chemistry, psychology. She mixed them all like poisons, and in her hands, Tyler's Hyde wasn't a curse anymore. It was a weapon. At first, Laurel forced Tyler to turn into a Hyde and do her murderous bidding, but once she gained his full loyalty, he willingly followed her deadly plan. The puppet became a willing accomplice. But Tyler wasn't just some mindless killing machine. The actor himself thinks Tyler slowly started enjoying his bloodthirsty alter ego, his ability to fool someone as smart as Wednesday. That's maybe the most chilling part of Tyler's character. He didn't just transform physically, he transformed morally. Sweet barista defending Wednesday from bullies becomes predator hunting her friends for sport. And the worst part? He was good at it. Really, really good. Let's talk about the woman who started it all. The Hyde who shattered Nevermore's trust and doomed her entire species. Francoise Galpin, born in 1974. By the early 90s, she was at Nevermore Academy, fencing champion, bright, charismatic. People described her as lovely, but lovely doesn't stop biology. After her death, Donovan Galpin lived with one fear, that his wife's condition would pass down to their son. That fear consumed him. And in the cruelest irony, that fear, the distance, the silence, probably made Tyler even easier for Thornhill to break. Francoise Galpin wasn't some nameless monster. She walked the same halls as Morticia Frump and Larissa Weems. She fenced. She studied. By all accounts, she was brilliant, even beloved. But lovely doesn't protect you from what's in your blood. At some point, her Hyde surfaced. How it happened, that part of the story has never been told. No master, no leash, just raw instinct. Unpredictable, dangerous. The response? Swift, cold, clinical. They put her in Willow Hill, locked away, declared dead, erased from the record. Her classmates went on to become headmistresses and legends. Francoise was reduced to a whisper, and here's where it gets darker. Project Lois, Sheriff Galpin's quiet investigation, the whispers about what Willow Hill was really doing behind locked doors. Francoise's file isn't just tragic, it's radioactive. The first season story says she died at Willow Hill, broken, but the details suggest something else, something buried. Tyler mourned a ghost, never knowing the real story. That's the true tragedy. She wasn't just taken from him, she was rewritten into a cautionary tale, a weapon against her own kind. Her legacy shaped everything that followed. Tyler's abandonment, Nevermore's fear, the total erasure of Hydes from history. And maybe her story isn't finished. Hydes don't just transform, they attach. Whoever unlocks them becomes the center of their world, a master, a leash. That's why Tyler didn't just follow Thornhill, he was bound to her. The moment she brought out his Hyde, his loyalty wasn't a choice, it was instinct. But here's the twist. Thornhill didn't just pull the strings, she gave Tyler something he never had. Answers, a target, a twisted kind of purpose. And he gave her what no one else could, a monster hidden in plain sight. There's supposed to be a failsafe. Kill your master, and the Hyde dies too. Balance restored. Tyler broke that rule. Thornhill was gone. He was still standing. Tyler Galpin isn't just another Hyde. He's something new, something unbound. And when rules break in the world of monsters, it's never good news. Jekyll and Hyde didn't just influence Wednesday, it's been echoing through pop culture for over a century, each generation reshaping the story to fit its own fears. By the late 1800s, stage plays and early films were already multiplying. The silent era gave us grotesque transformations, evil made visible, distorted, impossible to miss. The 1931 film with Frederick March pushed it further, making Hyde a raw force of impulse stripped of restraint. The performance was so intense it won an Academy Award and set the standard for everything that followed. After World War II, Hyde shifted into the age of science and mutation, fears of laboratories, experiments, and human ambition turning itself into something monstrous. Later retellings placed him in corruption, conspiracy, and psychological thrillers, always adapting, always returning to the same question: what if the monster isn't outside but inside? And in Wednesday, Tyler Galpin becomes the next link in that chain. Not just a nod to Stevenson, but a reminder that Hyde never really goes away. He just finds new ways to appear. Season 2 makes one thing clear: killing your master doesn't set you free. It rewrites the rules. Shock collar, sedatives, a cage. That doesn't make the Hyde vanish. It makes him starve. When Wednesday visits, Tyler almost shifts. The collar forces him back, but the look in his eyes says enough. The Hyde isn't gone. It's waiting. Then comes Thornhill. The woman who turned him into a weapon is suddenly paraded back as if she could fix him, but Tyler isn't her tool anymore. The power goes out, the collar dies, and the Hyde doesn't hesitate. What follows isn't just an attack, it's release. Violence as liberation. Thornhill falls first, but the real confrontation is with Wednesday, the one who exposed him, the one who left his life in ruins. He grabs her, throws her through a window, leaves her broken on the stone below. The bigger question isn't whether she survives. It's what Tyler has become. By killing his master and living, he's crossed into uncharted territory. The Hyde we see now isn't Thornhill's creation. It's something new. If you want my full analysis of these first 4 episodes, click the video right here. Or if you're feeling nostalgic and want to hunt for more Season 1 Easter eggs, check out this video over here. I'm Raphael CG, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.